So sustainability is really, really important to Menzies. Primarily it's the right thing to do. Any well-run business that wants to grow should have sustainability at its heart. Doing that, you'll do three things. You'll look after climate change, you'll look after your people, and you'll look after the environment. One of the things I've seen over my career is that corporates are very, very good at sending out messages and sending out programs, but this really, really has to be about message received, not message sent. We need to drive cultural change. We need to educate people to tell them why this is important and what the positive outcomes are going to be for them as well as for the company. We want 42,000 people pulling in the right direction, all achieving the goals we've set. So our all-in plan is aimed to be at the heart of our sustainability programs. First of all, there's safety. Safety is very much part of our day-to-day DNA. It always has been. I've been at Menzies for 25 years now, and it's always been part of that. We have an industry-leading MORSE programme that is recognised within the industry, but we must make sure that we give people a really good working environment. They must have functioning equipment to use, and they must have full uniform that gives them the protections that they need from the elements. And that really plays into the supply chain as well, because what do airlines want? Airlines want safe, on-time performance. So we must have that as part of our day-to-day delivery. A key pillar of the all-in is diversity as people, and how we develop, how we treat, how we train these people are fundamental to our success. Diversity has to be at the heart of that. We're very proud of our Living Leadership programme that has literally seen hundreds and hundreds of colleagues go through that, and that helps grow our capabilities. We're also proud of our Women in Leadership programme that has seen many of our identified future female leaders go through training programmes. It's much better to develop from within than it is to recruit from outside, so that's a very, very key part of our culture. We also must look at the products we use. Can we change, can we evolve, can we use different products to achieve the same goal? And sometimes we need to take ourselves out of our comfort zone and say, well, hold on, that product might seem slightly more expensive, but if you look at the bigger picture over a number of years, it might be less expensive. So we mustn't be penny wise and pound foolish. With regards to internally, environmentally, it really is about paper, water, waste and electric consumption. We've got programmes in place and targets to reduce all of those areas. But more importantly, we've put in place an environmental management system, and that's very new to the business, and that is a real culture change, because it's not something we've asked people to manage before. But it's very, very important, because there's no point setting targets if you can't monitor your progress against them. We have a number of priorities, but our top priority is to be net zero by 2045. We aim to do that in scope 1, 2 and 3. We have committed to science-based targets. We're very proud of that. We're one of the first in the industry to put our targets out there. We understand that's very, very ambitious. We don't duck from that, but we really are committed to delivering that and are fully confident that we can. It won't be without its challenges, especially in scope 3, which is very difficult to calculate currently, but we're committed to doing that, and things like the environmental management programme I talked about, that will help us deliver that. Thereafter, it really is about things like electrifying our GSE fleet. So we've set ourselves a target of 25% by 2025, because you must remember that over the last 50 years we've built up a fairly large diesel fleet of equipment. But we're committed to every new significant investment being with electric equipment. And that's something that we will deliver on, but we will need help with. So in many airports across the world, we're dealing with ageing infrastructure. Airports are very aware of that, and they're trying their best to get ready. But in many, many airports across the world, we don't have electrical charging points. So we can't, even if we're ready to push ahead with that, there just isn't the grid to do that. I believe that the aviation supply chain is a perfect triangle of airlines, airports and aviation services businesses. And if we can all work together, we can do our best to achieve our goals. And I really hope that governments can play their part in that and recognise the contribution to the economy that air travel does make, which is not insignificant. And if we can get that right, we can build a sustainable future for the aviation industry. It will need help from regulatory authorities. There has to be a recognition that post-COVID the world has changed. People are behaving in a different way, they're working more flexibly. We need to ensure that the aviation supply chain makes every job at an airport an attractive job, We need to ensure that airlines pay a fair rate for the service provided, and that then we pay a fair rate to our employees for this, for the work that they do. The industry has a duty to get that right, and we'll only do that by working together: airlines, airports, aviation service providers, and governments. The future for Menzies is really, really exciting. We have ambitious growth plans. We grew strongly last year, entering more airports, more countries, deepening relationships with our key airline customers. If I look forward the next 2 years, we have a number of new projects that are coming on stream. And for us, it's about leading the way. We want to raise standards at every airport that we operate at. For the aviation industry to be successful, we need minimum standards on quality, we need minimum standards on pay, we need minimum standards on how people are treated. So I'm really, really passionate and excited about the future.